Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl R.S. Lewis, aka Insomniac Writer, and today we're going to be reacting to The Color Purple, the official trailer for the new remake, re-envisioning, new take on The Color Purple that's going to be based off of the movie from the 80s that was based off the book, also from the 80s. So, I am going to also give my thoughts. Let's get to it. Get your popcorn ready. Before I judge or whatever, I'm just going to watch this.
Today, our teacher taught us about a place called Africa. She say our mamas come from Queens over there. That means that we, royalty.
I don't need you to love me.
Afternoon, I needs me a wife.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
I don't need
Get off my land!
you.
I rat you every day!
Daddy!
Nothing but death can keep me from it!
Oh, Miss Seeley!
You must ain't got no kinfolk around these parts.
All I had was my sister. She was the only one ever loved me. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back.
It's time for you to see the world.
There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on. This ain't me.
Hush. We need to look like we belong.
Let's see this smile and color.
Sweet and loving God.
Showing my heart to the folks that I'm close to.
Now we're talking. Dear Seeley, we are more than just kings and queens. We are at the center of the universe.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, so that was the trailer, the official trailer to The Color Purple, and wow, that gave me chills. This usually isn't the type of stuff that I review on this channel. Usually I stick to comic book stuff or horror is my favorite.
Yes!
I'm actually hyped to see this. First and foremost, before I go on, let's just talk about the cast. Woo, child. We got Halle Bailey. I've been calling her Haley for the longest, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, young lady, that I'm just been jacking up your name. And then I was like, Halle Berry. No, Halle Berry. Lord help me, fix it. She's playing young Nettie Harris. Of course, Sierra. I didn't know that Sierra was going to be in this, so wow. Now this is according to IMDb. She's going to be playing the adult Nettie. Seeley is going to be played by Fantasia. Like, yes. Oh my God, Fantasia. Amazing singer. I remember when she won American Idol. I was so happy for her. And she's been through so much since then. And I just want to see her get her roses. Playing the young child Seeley is Phylicia Pearl Mpasi. I think I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not. Taraji P. Henson is going to be Suge. Danielle Brooks is going to be Sofia. And she got some acting chops. Her range is just really wide. Like, she was in Peacemaker. I've seen her in serious roles. She was in Orange is the New Black. Colman Domingo is going to be playing Mr. He is from Fear the Walking Dead. That's what I say. He's been in other stuff, but that's what I know him for mostly. Corey Hawkins is going to play Harpo. I loves me some Harpo. I'm sorry. But if you don't recognize him, he was in that NWA biopic. I think he played Dr. Dre. Deion Cole is going to play Alfonso. Tamela Mann is the first lady. Aunjanue Ellis is Mama. Miss Millie is played by Elizabeth Marvel, and I've seen her in some stuff too. David Allen Greer is going to play Reverend Avery. He's going to be Suge's father that disowned her. And let me tell you something about Mr. David Allen Greer. I got wind of him, obviously, from In Living Color. I always thought, oh, he's funny. But then I saw Tales from the Hood, and I saw that he could be menacing. And then I saw his background, his education. Oh, whoa, he got the chops. Okay. Squeak is played by her. I'm just going to keep going here. So, yeah, we got some musical talent. And apparently it's going to be an on-screen musical, hence why we have Fantasia blowing and singing. This went on Broadway, and they got a Tony. It's going to probably mirror that more so than it did the 1980 movie. Steven Spielberg, he's not directing, but he's producing it. And another thing, speaking of this adaptation, people kind of complained about the first one because it's like, how white guy. First of all, he's Jewish. But the point is how a person that wasn't a black person, well, now y'all got a black director. And then Steven Spielberg back then, when Quincy Jones himself approached him and said, hey, I want you to do this. You know, he hadn't done any serious movies. Like, his movies were Jaws, E.T., something like that. Like, that was his thing, like, you know, fantasy and things of that nature. He hadn't done a serious movie, but he credits this for making a way to do movies like Schindler's List. And the crazy thing about it, he turned it down. That was he was like, don't you think you want to get somebody who's black? And Quincy Jones, in more or less in so many words, was like, you can direct this movie. I think his only gripe after this movie came out and was that he didn't play on the relationship between Suge and Celie, because they had the whole, you know, they slept together, had the whole lesbian thing in the book. And in the movie, they just kissed. That was it. Back in the 80s, they probably wouldn't have received it that well. Although it is very important to Celie's character arc, to her finding her voice, finding herself, loving herself, because she's always been told she's black and she ugly. It wasn't even just the physical abuse from her father and from Mr. It was just everything. And this is a girl that had just never felt love in her life, and the only love that she felt was her sister. And then her sister got kicked out. Like in the movie, I remember Danny Glover was throwing the rocks and she holding on to the tree. He said that was probably one of the hardest scenes to film. I think they are going to all do this justice, because I've seen all of these actors do great things. Taraji P. Henson has amazing range. We've seen her in funny stuff. We've seen her in scary stuff. We've seen her in serious drama. So I already know she got the chops. I didn't know Taraji P. Henson could sing, but I guess we about to find out. They're probably going to pull in more of the more graphic things from the book that weren't displayed into the original movie, because the movie tackles so many different things. It tackles gender issues, racism between white people and black people, but colorism, another form of racism between black people, you know, light skin versus dark skin. This is a time between slavery ending legally and prohibition. They had the juke joint, which is basically a speakeasy. And even though this book, the characters in this book are fictionalized characters, they're based on very real people, I'm sure. Like, women were second-class citizens and black people were second-class citizens. So what did that make black women? This was a conversation that a lot of these things we didn't really talk about. Like, black people coming up, even me, I'm not that old. It was like, what happens in the family stays in the family. Like the things that Celie's stepfather does to her. No, I'm not even going to give no spoilers, because y'all might not even seen the original one. And if you haven't, I recommend you do watch it. If you have the book, read it. Like, I had to read it in high school. I didn't finish the whole thing. I did enough to pass my paper, and I watched the movie. But I was like, yo, I'm going to find this book in my basement and actually finish it. When I first saw the movie, I didn't understand everything that was going on. I understood what racism was. I understood what abuse was. But there were things, the emotional and mental abuse that follows you from childhood far into adulthood, that leaves those emotional scars. I didn't understand that until I found out I had emotional scars, and we all do. Alice Walker is one of the people that inspired me to write, not just Stephen King, but her. I'm definitely excited to see this. Like, I was trying to hold back tears because I'm remembering how I felt when I watched the movie, especially the ending. How this tackles classism in its whole, because that's what basically racism is another form of classism, and using something that doesn't make a person less or more, using that to control them is just bullshit to me. But I'm not going to get into sociology, and we're not going to get into CRT talk on my channel. I'm going to talk about this trailer. So we got a Christmas release 2023. It's going to be released to theaters. I don't think they might stream it. I'm not sure. Oprah's producing it. This movie put her on the map. It put Whoopi on the map. Because nobody knew who Whoopi Goldberg was outside of stand-up. And nobody really knew who Oprah was. Nobody knew her as an actress. It was funny because she was trying to lose weight. So she had to stop her diet and fitness stuff to do the role because Sofia's a big girl. I hope the film is done justice, and I hope that, they don't ignore some of the themes that were kind of like stepped over. I hope they don't outshadow the actual story at hand with other stuff. But the fact that they're doing a musical adaptation, I'm all for it. I love The Color Purple. I can't wait for the cast to do their thing, singing the soundtrack, because Quincy Jones did the original soundtrack back in the day. So, what did y'all think about The Color Purple 2023 musical adaptation? The trailer. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you going to go see it? Let me know down in the comments, because where else are you going to leave them? And before you go, make sure you do me a huge favor and like, subscribe, hit that little bell so you can be notified of other videos. I try to get a trailer reaction out each week. If I come, we got the writer strike, so I don't know how many more trailers we're going to have. But hey, I'm doing what I can do, y'all. Go back and watch some few other videos if you're new here, and, make yourself comfortable and get some nachos and popcorn and water, whatever you want to get. And let me know what you think of the other trailer reactions that I've done. If you have a trailer that you want me to react to, leave it down below or shoot me a message on any of my social media. I'm at Insomniac Writer. And that's that. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Be awesome. Be you, but above all else, love yourself. Color Purple is a story about a woman learning to love herself in the most difficult period in the history of women in this country and Black people. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Take care.